Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today, Huntington Beach. We're going to go north to the cliffs. And the cliffs has a part that swings down. So it's kind of like we call it the gap. It's just in between the two cliffs, there's a little bit of a walk down area. I don't know what you'd call it, a ramp. And so we went there. I had looked at it earlier and saw the bunch of kids out there from the high school, but by the time we got out there, they were pretty much gone. There was only 3 or 4 people total, so not crowded at all. And the waves were glassy. It was very, very little wind, just you can slightly feel it, but for the most part, no wind, so it wasn't choppy, but it was still bumpy. There was kind of a mix of almost like a boat wake, but bigger than that would come across sideways. I have no idea where it came from. So it wasn't perfect, but it was pretty smooth and pretty nice to ride. They were breaking outside, and you could get a really long ride. They were about waist high. Occasionally something would come in a little bigger than that, like maybe head high. But for the most part, they were all waist high. And it seems like at the gap there at Huntington Beach, there's a bit of a shelf or something. When the wave hits that shelf, it seems to jack up and then break harder. So you have to catch it at the right time or you're going to wipe out. And luckily I did not. Craig had a couple where he was a little bit late getting up and had to take a bit of a tumble. But for the most part, I had all good takeoffs. One, I didn't stand up. I took off great position, but it kind of pushed me and kind of jolted me, and I didn't stand up, so I was on my stomach. So I just stayed on my stomach and just rode the wave like a bodyboard. And that was fun. But yeah, kind of weird not to stand up, but still a really good wave, really fast. And the majority of my waves were going right, even though I was looking for lefts. I only found like 2 lefts for the whole day. All the rest were rights, and so I did a nice bottom turn off that right, and then coming off the top, you had to be real smooth and careful, otherwise you'd fall out the back of the wave, because as you know at Huntington, they seem to fizzle towards the dead zone. But managed to get a few good turns in, and a lot of good paddling, and it wasn't crowded, so all in all, it was pretty good. We moved. The current there really wasn't a current. We kind of stayed right there at the gap, so it really wasn't pushing us any way. If it pushed at all, it was pushing us out towards the deeper water occasionally, but most of the time pretty easy to stay in position. Got a really long ride, connected it and everything, but when I turned around to paddle back out, it looks like a football field. And so after you've been surfing for a couple hours, it starts to look further and further out. And so you just got to paddle slowly. A big set came in, but I was able to duck dive under them pretty easily. They weren't real hollow and powerful, but they were strong enough to push you, so good surf day. Sun kind of came out through the clouds, but it wasn't warm at all. When I first got in the water, it was cold. And I think we're in the high 50s right now. As it starts to drop down, it starts to get pretty darn cold, so it has to be pretty good surf to go and get that cold in the water. And even before that, when I went to put my wetsuit on, it hadn't dried from yesterday, so it was still wet and cold. So from the beginning, it was cold. And I was tempted to put on my summer suit just because it was dry, but it's awful thin, and with that water being so cold, it might not have been a good idea. So I stuck with the thicker winter suit, the 4-3, and it was cold first getting in. I even had booties on, but as the water leaks in here and there, it just you can feel it. And then when you duck dive, that cold air hits your face, and you can feel it. It's pretty cold. It's like putting your face in a bucket of ice water. So, but that's what you do in the wintertime. If you're going to surf, you got to put up with the cold water, cold air, which is great because less people go surfing in the wintertime, so it's not as crowded. And we're at the cliffs where it's not as crowded again, so pretty good. By the time we left at 9:30, there were a few more people around us, maybe 5 or 6. But for the most part, there was 2 or 3 other people besides me and Craig, so it wasn't very crowded at all. You can go for any wave you want. Rarely did I have to look up and see if somebody was on it. So pretty good. Good day, sunny, no wind, just a little tiny breeze. And I say that only because when it's this cold, that little tiny breeze is very cold. So you feel it. You feel the wet on your face and stuff. So it's cold. So good day. That's all. Just a pretty average surfing day as far as surfing goes. So we'll see what tomorrow. We're expecting it to be even better tomorrow. So we shall see. So until then, go surfing on the web and check out our sponsors, nappyclothing.com, Merch Hero, taskbullet.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks. Thanks for listening, and I will see you soon. Thanks.